Hello all. So in the last few sessions we were talking about best practices in developing NLP applications. We've also seen how do we deploy and serve NLP applications, and then we have started with multimodal networks where we have seen what is image captioning and how do we do image captioning using MS Coco dataset, and then how do we process that image with CNN and ResNet 50, how do we extract the features with ResNet 50, and how do we develop the transformer model and train the transformer model with visual encoders, right? So today in this session I would like to talk about how do we generate captions. That is the last step. So we are done with understanding what multimodal learning is, and then we have seen how do we go for image captioning, processing that image using the transformer model, how do we train that. Okay, so we are in the last step where we will try to generate the captions. Okay, so I'm sure we have seen the transformer model, which is basically a complex model. So when we are dealing with transformer model, we should consider so many building blocks as important part of your toolkit when you try to develop any NLP applications. For captioning some images, we will use a Jupyter notebook for inference so that we can quickly try out on different images. Okay, for which we have to first load the subword encoder, set up the masking, instantiate a ResNet 50 model to extract the features from test images, and then try to generate a captions as token at a time until the end of the sequence or maximum sequence length is repeated. Okay, now for doing all these things, we first have to instantiate our transformer model. Okay, so this is an important step to ensure the parameters are as same as the checkpoint ones that we have discussed in the last session. Okay, so restoring the model from the checkpoint requires optimizer. You can go for AdaBoost or you can go for any optimizer of your choice. Even though we are not training the model, we will reuse the custom scheduler from the training code. Okay, so because we use the positional encoder here. Once we are done with this, we will set up the masking function for the generated captions, and then we will also make sure that we had look ahead mask, which will help us during inference. That is, the future tokens will not have been generated yet. Okay, so once you're done with this, the main code for reference, the main code for the inference function would be evaluate function. Okay, so we are taking this method because the image is generated by the ResNet 50 model as input, and the seeds the output caption sequence with the start token. Okay, so for that reason we will use this evaluate, where we take input image and we'll give the length of that particular thing and start encoding the tokenized words. Okay, so once we are done with all this, you can see how the captions would be generated for an image. Okay, so this is the example of an image, and the caption here generated is a man is riding a wave. Okay, so this might not give you good accuracy because the clear description of the image that the man is surfboarding on a wave in the ocean with blue water, all these things is not given in the description, so the accuracy would not be as expected. Okay, you might see different results when you work on different models by fine tuning the ResNet feature extraction. Okay, for example, you may also get a man in a black shirt is riding a surfboard in the ocean with blue water and so on. Okay, so we are operating in the probabilistic realm here. Okay, so you might have slight differences when you develop model with your own summarizations in the code. Okay, so you can take another examples of images and their captions. Okay, so you can generate different captions by using different parameters. Okay, so close up of a vase with flowers in it, though vase is not visible, as the picture is zoomed in, we say a close up of vase. Okay, a group of people standing around a table with a cake. Okay, as you can see the third picture, a group of people standing on the top of a sandy beach, a group of people walking down with down a street with luggage. Okay, only two or three might carry a luggage, but overall it is giving the particular caption. A man in a suit and tie standing in front of a mirror. It is basically a woman, as the woman features are not that applicable, are not that visible, and as she's wearing the outfit of a man, so it is giving a man in a suit. Okay, so the results vary from image to image depending upon how we fine tune the model. Okay, so if you want to check for the metrics in order to know the quality of the captions that are being generated, we can use these two metrics. One is BLEU, which we already know. We have been using this for language translation also. Bilingual evaluation understudy, which is the most popular, machine translation metric. You can use the same thing for image captioning also. You can also use CIDR, which is image description evaluation based. Okay, so you can use either of them for evaluating the quality of captions that are being generated. Okay, next, the last topic which I would like to discuss and focus in the subject is about how do we improve performance and state of the art models. Okay, so first let's talk through some simple experiments so that we can try to improve the performance before talking about the latest models. Okay, so recall our discussion on the positional encodings for the inputs in the encoder, right? So adding or removing positional encoding help us into the performance, right? So in the previous sessions we have seen, we have implemented the beam search algorithm for generating summaries. You can adapt the beam search code and see the improvement in the results with beam search. Okay, another avenue of exploration is ResNet 50. We used a pre-trained ResNet model. We did not fine-tune it further. It is possible to build an architecture where ResNet is part of the architecture and not a pre-processing steps. You can image files are loaded in, the features are extracted using ResNet 50 as part of the visual encoder. ResNet 50 layers can be trained from the get-go or in any of the last few iterations. Okay, so you can also use other versions of ResNet 50 like ResNet 152 and so on, or you can also use other object detection models like Decatron from Facebook or any other model. Okay, so but remember, when you use different model for extracting image features, okay, the key will be to make sure tensor dimensions are flowing properly through the encoder. Please make a note of this point. Okay, so the decoder should not require any changes. Depending on the complexity of the model, you can either pre-process and store image features or compute them on the fly. Okay, so recall that we have used pixels from the image directly. Okay, so most models use region proposals extracted from regions instead of the pixels directly. When we talk about object detection in an image, it involves drawing a boundary around the object in the image. Okay, so another way to perform the same task is to classify uh, what the bounding boxes in an image. So all these state-of-the-art models use bounding boxes or region proposals as input. Okay, the second biggest gain in image captioning comes from pre-training. Recall BERT and GPT, the pre-trained models that we have already worked on. Okay, so model differs based on whether the encoder is pre-trained or both the encoder and decoders are pre-trained. Okay, common pre-trained objective in the version of BERT was MLM and NSP, right? Creating special tokens called CLS, SCP, and all that. Okay, so image captioning is basically an active area of research. The research is just getting started with multimodal networks in general. Okay, so this is how we use multimodal networking for deep learning in case of image captioning. Okay, so to summarize the input, we have started with the world of deep learning, some specific architecture which have been developed to handle specific modalities. We have started with CNNs because when we talk about image captioning, the input is basically an image which is processed by convolutional neural networks, which have been incredibly effective in processing images, right? Especially to standardize architecture in computer vision tasks. Okay, so however, the world of research is moving towards multimodal networks these days because it can take multiple types of inputs like sounds, images, text, and perform different operations on it. Okay, so there are a number of problems that you can work in this area, not just about image captioning. We have discussed only image captioning in the session, but you can also go for text to image conversion. You can also go for visual question answering, VCR, and many other applications. Okay, so building on our learnings from previous chapters on sequence to sequence architecture, custom TensorFlow layers and models, scheduling them, training the models, we implemented a transformer model from scratch. Okay, so you can develop transformer models from the scratch and you can improve them with fine tuning. Okay, so we also have taken a quick look at the basic concepts of CNN and how does that help with the image side of things. Okay, so we have tried to build a model that not only able to generate 1,000 of words for a picture, but it will definitely able to generate a human readable caption with good accuracy. And you can also measure that using different performance metrics like BLEU and CIDAR. Okay, so if the performance still need improvement, you can possibly try the latest techniques. Okay, so it is apparent that deep models perform very well when they contain a lot of data. Okay, so you can use BERT, GPT models, various versions of GPT models that have been shown the value of pre-training on massive amounts of data. Okay, it is still very hard to get good quality labeled data for use in pre-training and fine-tuning. In the world of NLP, we have a lot of text but not enough labeled data. So this would be still a challenging task for us to work on, even if the most advancements have taken place with respect to multimodal networks. So with this, I end the session and the unit. Thank you so much.